Whispers at the edge. The rain fell softly on Crescent Harbor, turning the world gray and muted. Sophia Bishop stood at her kitchen window, fingers curled around a porcelain mug, staring at the rhythmic patter of droplets on glass. Perfect raindrops on a perfect window frame in a perfect house with a perfect husband. Perfect lies. Sophia's hand trembled. The voice wasn't hers. At least, not the voice she recognized as her own thoughts. It was softer, colder, like a breath of winter air against her neck. "Did you say something?" She turned to her husband, Daniel, who sat at the breakfast island scrolling through his phone. He looked up, flashing that smile that had charmed the entire town. "No, honey, just checking email before work." Daniel Bishop, beloved owner of Harbor Light Books, the town's only independent bookstore. 6 feet tall with kind eyes and a touch of silver at his temples that made him look distinguished rather than aging. Her husband of 7 years. He's lying to you. Right now. Look at his eyes. "Stop it," Sophia whispered to herself as she turned back to the window. "What's that?" Daniel asked, already standing to leave. "Nothing. Just talking to myself. Been a long week at the clinic." She forced a smile. "You work too hard." He kissed her forehead, his lips warm against her skin. "I'll be late tonight. Inventory." Number, not inventory. Sophia's smile remained frozen as he grabbed his coat and keys. The front door closed with a gentle click, and she was alone. Alone with the voice that had first appeared 3 weeks ago, a whisper so faint she thought it was the wind. The next morning, Sophia found herself standing in their walk-in closet, hands trembling as she ran them over Daniel's neatly hung dress shirts, left pocket of the gray wool coat. She pulled her hand back as if burned. "No," she said firmly, "this is ridiculous." She was a therapist, for God's sake. She knew the signs of paranoid ideation. The voice was stress, nothing more. The long hours at her private practice, the pressure of being the town's go-to counselor, everyone's secret keeper. You counsel others on truth while living in a lie. Sophia's fingers touched the sleeve of Daniel's gray wool coat, the one he rarely wore. "This is insane," she muttered, even as her hand slipped into the left pocket. Her fingers closed around something small and cold. She withdrew a silver key she'd never seen before. Her heart pounded as she stared at it. Not a house key, not a car key, something else. Storage Unit 23, Pelican Bay Rentals. The voice was clearer now, a woman's voice, tired and sad. Sophia called in sick for the first time in 3 years. She drove through the rain to Pelican Bay Rentals, a facility at the edge of town. The key slid perfectly into Unit 23's lock. Inside, she found a life she didn't recognize. A corkboard with photographs of Daniel and a woman with dark hair. Weekend trips, intimate moments. A lease agreement for an apartment in Ashland, 40 minutes away. Credit card statements showing hotel stays when Daniel had claimed to be at book conferences. And beneath it all, in a small wooden box, a silver bracelet with a single charm, a crescent moon. He gave one to her too. Sophia touched her own wrist, where an identical bracelet had been his first anniversary gift to her. That night, Daniel came home to find Sophia sitting in the dark living room, the contents of the storage unit spread across their coffee table. "Soph," his voice cracked, "I can explain." "Can you?" The calm in her voice surprised her. "Can you explain her, or the apartment, or why you've been living a double life?" His face crumpled. "It was a mistake. It's over. It's been over for months." "Lieutenant, you're lying," Sophia said, her voice barely a whisper. Daniel knelt before her, taking her hands. "Sophia, listen to me. You haven't been yourself. Dr. Mercer called me. He's worried about you. You've been canceling appointments, talking to yourself. He's trying to make you doubt yourself. I'm not crazy, she said. No one's saying you are, but maybe you need help. I've only ever been faithful to you. Look at his phone. Then let me see your phone, she said. A flicker of fear crossed his face before it settled into concern. Sophia, this paranoia? Your phone, she screamed, surprising herself with the force of her rage. Fine. He handed it over. The passcode is… I know what it is. But when she entered his birthday, the screen flashed red. Wrong code. 4-2-3-9. Sophia's fingers trembled as she typed it in. The phone unlocked. How did you… Daniel's face paled. Messages, photos, evidence of a life with someone else, a woman named Rebecca, and something else, images of financial documents, large withdrawals, offshore accounts. Who are you? Sophia whispered. Daniel's expression hardened. You need help, Sophia. Professional help. He's going to hurt you, like he hurt me. The voice was louder now, clearer, as if the woman were standing right beside her. The next 3 days passed in a blur. Daniel insisted she see a psychiatrist who prescribed medication that made the world fuzzy. But the voice remained, cutting through the haze, guiding her. The pond at Miller's Park. Under the willow. Bring a shovel. On the 4th night, Sophia waited until Daniel took his sleeping pill, the one he needed since her episode, as he called it. She slipped out of bed, dressed, and drove to Miller's Park in the moonlight. The pond was still, a black mirror reflecting the night sky. The ancient willow tree wept over the water's edge, its branches brushing the surface like fingers searching for something lost. Sophia began to dig where the voice directed, her shovel cutting into soft, damp earth. 3 feet down, she hit something solid, a plastic tarp bound with duct tape. Her hands shook as she peeled back the layers to reveal the partially decomposed face of a woman with dark hair. I'm Rebecca, and now you know. Sophia didn't scream. Some part of her had known what she would find. She sank to her knees in the mud. He killed you, she whispered. Yes, when I found out about his other life, his real business. The bookstore is just a front. Memories flooded Sophia's mind. Daniel's unexplained income, mysterious trips, the storage units with false bottoms she'd once glimpsed, filled with what looked like drugs or weapons. Why me? Why are you helping me? Because you're next. He knows you're getting too close. The sound of twigs snapping made Sophia turn. Daniel stood at the edge of the clearing, his expression unreadable in the moonlight. I was wondering when she'd find you, he said softly. Rebecca always was persistent, even after death. Sophia scrambled to her feet. You're insane. Daniel smiled sadly. No, Sophia, I'm something else entirely. Something this town has harbored for generations. His eyes seemed to darken, becoming endless pools of night. And I've always needed someone like you, someone sensitive to the veil between worlds. He stepped closer, and Sophia saw his shadow stretch impossibly across the ground, tendrils of darkness reaching toward her. You hear her because you're like me, only you don't know it yet. This town needs people like us. He held out his hand. Rebecca tried to run, to expose me, but you could join me. Don't listen. He twists truth with lies. Rebecca's voice was fading, growing distant as Daniel approached. What are you? Sophia whispered. A collector, Daniel said, of souls, of secrets. This town gives me what I need, and I keep it safe in return. He gestured to the open grave. She didn't understand the balance. Sophia's mind raced. The town's unnaturally low crime rate, the prosperity amid regional decline, the strange loyalty residents showed, even when offered better opportunities elsewhere. All these years, she said, I've been married to something inhuman. Daniel smiled. Oh no, Sophia, you've been something inhuman all along. Why else would you hear the dead? Rebecca's whisper came one last time. Choose. Sophia looked from Daniel's outstretched hand to the shovel still clutched in her own, and she made her choice. They found Sophia Bishop the next morning, sitting calmly at the edge of the pond. Beside her was a freshly turned patch of earth, and in her lap, she held a silver bracelet with a crescent moon charm. My husband is in there, she told the officers calmly, and a woman named Rebecca. They searched, but found only one body, Daniel's, his skull crushed. She told me everything, Sophia insisted. Rebecca's spirit. She showed me what he was. The town quietly committed her to Pinewood Psychiatric Facility, where she sits by the window each day, listening to the rain. Sometimes she smiles secretly when the orderlies pass, because she can still hear the whispers, not just Rebecca's now, but dozens of others. All the secrets of Crescent Harbor, carried on voices from beyond the veil. And sometimes, when the moon is full, her eyes darken to endless pools of night, and the newest orderly finds himself telling her things he's never told anyone about the body in his basement, the child he abandoned, the crimes he fled. Sophia simply listens and smiles. After all, every town needs its collector. The balance must be maintained.
If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications.